Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Thanks all for joining this Wednesday note. My name is Pramila. I'm a volunteer with Sanjeevni, and here we have
Jai
our
Shri.
co-host. Yes. Hey, Jayashri, how are you doing?
Hey Pramila, I'm doing good. How are you this evening?
I'm good, good,
What's in
good.
your mind?
You know, a lot of the last few months, something has been bothering Sanjeevni a whole lot. So, Jayashri, we've been getting a lot of calls, really a lot of calls in the last 12 months, where the question of dowry has come up. The team is so surprised. What do you think of all of this?
Dowry, this day and age, and in this country, it is
Yes,
very
this country.
shocking.
Yes.
It is very shocking. And why does one want dowry?
So, based on the information that we've received, the male spouse is demanding dowry for reasons of expenses. And the surprising thing, Jayashri, is some of the couples are newly married. Some of them have been married for a significant period of time, but the male spouse is asking the wife to bring dowry, or could be cash, could be kind, could be land from their parents. And when the female spouse is not doing it, it's resulting into abuse.
And so many years after marriage. I mean,
Yes.
I have heard that dowry is something like a one time gift given at the time of marriage. So, if it is a gift, then does it make any sense that it is being demanded? Then that doesn't remain a gift.
Yes, it's been demanded, and sometimes the amount, the proportion, the quality, the quantity, everything is being demanded. Unfortunately, is it a gift at all?
It is no. This is exploitation, and to me it sounds like the girl is being blackmailed, or I mean, just for marrying him, is it worth paying all that money? Is he worth all that money? And the question
Yeah.
that arises to my mind is, so basically, the groom is trying to sell himself.
In layman's term, exactly. Yes. But the thing is, even though he's selling himself, the female spouse is not getting any benefit out of it. Her life, at least based on the has remained the same. Abuse is still there. Shouldn't it be the other way around, Jayashri?
Exactly. I mean, what I have heard is uh, this is also wrong, but I have heard that women are sold in some parts of the world to be a slave or a prostitute. But
Wow.
what is it if a man is selling himself? Then what is he? That's the
Well,
question.
audiences, if you're watching, if you're listening, that's a great question, Jayashri. Maybe our audiences can answer that. What is the
Yes.
word given to them? uh, and Jayashri, the surprising thing also is, dowry, when it was started, it was a very noble thing. When new couples, started their lives, they were very young, not able to earn that much. So it was something to seed start their household. Or
Makes
sometimes,
sense.
yes, and sometimes, in olden days, the females, they used to do a lot of craftsmanship, sewing, knitting, and all of that. So the dowry consisted of these objects of craftsmanship, bed sheets, crochet. But since then, both the couple seems to be earning well. The families are, in a very good position financially. Why dowry still?
I think I mean, this is what comes to my mind. It's just the greed because the girl and her family has agreed to give. So, what happens if the girl's family does not agree to give that, or the girl herself says, no, I do not want to buy a man? And if I do buy a man, then he's going to be my slave. And that's
Wow.
not a relationship.
Well, we have also Megha join us.
I
Hey,
mean,
Megha.
Hi.
Wow, we're talking about dowry, as Sanjeevni has been getting a lot of these calls from from couples where they are asking for dowry, they are demanding dowry, and the absence of dowry is resulting into abuse. Jayashri shares that maybe it's selling of the groom. What do you think?
So, it's interesting that, as I think about this, in our culture, it exists and it's still prevalent, which surprises me. I think that, when you're entering into a marriage, I absolutely don't believe, there should be the dowry piece. I believe that when you're entering a marriage and if someone is asking you for money or whatever, they're asking you for, I feel like that is kind of you're selling yourself. And from a parental view, absolutely. I have a daughter, and if she was entering into a marriage and the guy asked for, dowry, I would absolutely say this is not the right person for you. And I think what you're saying is after marriage, they're asking for this. And absolutely, I feel that that is, you know, not right. And how do you overcome this?
Exactly, Megha. How do we overcome this? So, Jayashree and Megha, if we need to abolish this social evil in the community, how do people begin then?
I think the first thing is the girl should stand up for herself. I mean, she's educated. She can stop this. It's her who can begin this, saying that no, I'm not going to let my parents give any dowry to this man I'm supposed to marry. If I marry him, it's going to be for love, not for money.
Is there any responsibility of the parents, Megha, Jayashree?
I think a lot falls on the parents. As parents, they should realize what's best for their daughter, the well-being of their daughter. And I agree with Jayshree. The woman should stand up for herself and say, no, this is not right. The reason I want to go into marriage is for love. I also believe in a marriage, you got to have respect. And when dowry comes into play, where does your self respect go?
Yes, I agree.
And many a times people believe that dowry equates to happiness of the female.
Has anybody proven that, yes, because my parents gave dowry, I am happy? I mean, I don't think, because there is never an end to asking. It's free money. Why wouldn't anybody want? But until the person who gives stops it, the taker will continue to take it. It's free money.
Absolutely. It's a cycle, right?
It's a
Once you
cycle.
give, they know that you're going to continue to give.
Yes. And sometimes this is what I see in the society, that parents believe that if I give this to my son in law, my daughter will be happy. But the daughter should stop it. Like, no, this is not going to make me happy. Rather, you give that money to me. I mean, she shouldn't be taking it from her parents, but even if they do, then it should be in her name. Why in the name of the son in law?
What is the role of the groom or the husband in this? Isn't he a party to this whole transaction?
Yes, I mean, I think most of the times, not every time, but most of the time, it's the groom and his parents who demand it. And as I said, that in my opinion, the girl should stop it, the boy can stop it, saying that no, it could be a tradition. It might have happened for generations, but I don't want that money. I don't want to sell myself.
The other thing, Megha, Jayashree, what we've also noticed based on the calls that Sanjeevani has been receiving, the groom or the male spouse, very qualified when they come to the US, they have a very well paying job, but that does not deter them to accept this free money and What are your thoughts on that? I mean, does education not bring this capability for a person to make a decision that it's right morally or not right morally?
You would think that an educated person would understand right and wrong and what it means to enter into a marriage. And from my belief, absolutely, in this day and age, people, our culture and people need to evolve. There needs to be change. And I also believe it is the groom's responsibility to tell his parents, no, this is not right. And
On
I'm sorry, go ahead,
No,
Jish.
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And I was going to say that I think we talked about happiness, that, my daughter will be happy if we acknowledge and give to the groom and his parents, and they'll treat her well. And I think that right there, when that ask comes, the parents and the woman should realize, this is not the right family for me. This is not the right person for me. Happiness is not going to come from dowry. Happiness comes from love, kindness, and respect.
And while we are talking about educated men taking dowry, what I have heard and read from in newspapers, the the higher the education of the groom, the higher the amount of dowry. So this is more like a sale transaction than anything related to love and emotions. So they're just selling themselves. And unfortunately, the woman is buying the husband, but she still suffers. It's a totally no and a bad situation for the girl and her parents.
Wow, you said that's a very powerful and a heavy statement, Jashri. They are buying. So this is the marriage market, and
Yes.
quote a price to get the possible groom, but still she is in a negative zone in the sense she has to suffer, and it's no happiness for her.
Since she's in the middle of everything, I think, again, I mean, I said this earlier, but I think it is her who should say, no, I am not buying a husband. There is no love and emotions involved here. My parents are becoming poorer. My husband is becoming richer, and I am suffering the more every day. The more the dowry is given, the more she continues to suffer. So it's a total losing situation for her. So she should be the one who should stop it, and she can do it. It's not impossible.
To everyone who will be watching this, or who are at least listening to it, if you are in a marriage where dowry is still being involved and you are going through abuse due to this, please call up a trusted organization. You can call up Sanjeevani at 224-424-0050. The team is there to help you. And to all the men who are openly accepting and demanding dowry, Megha, Jashi, do we have a name for them?
Well, as I said earlier, in different parts of the world, I have heard that when women are sold, it is for slavery or for prostitution. I'll leave it at that.
Megha, what are your concluding thoughts?
To conclude, I absolutely, agree with Jayshree. I feel that when you accept dowry, and unfortunately, I believe you are selling you are being sold when your parents accept that they're going to go ahead and give dowry for this marriage proposal to happen. I believe that, as women, we need to stand up for ourselves. We need to be strong. We need to stop this and put an end to it. The only way we put an end to it is we say no.
No to say no to dowry.
Yes.
Everyone say no to dowry, female and male. You think about who you are if you are accepting it. Dowry is a social evil in the community, and Sanjeevani's mission is also to ensure that these evils end and abuse in any form also ends. We thank you, Megha, Jayashree, for this discussion. We hope more people will get benefit out of what you have shared.
Yes, I hope so. I hope at least somebody, at least one girl says, no, I'm not going to marry giving dowry.
And, just to add a little more context, from the male's perspective, I would say, are you not capable? Do you not feel confident that you can't make your own money and you got to rely on, the person you're marrying to get that financial assistance?
Right.
So self-respect from both the sides, correct, Megha?
Absolutely.
All right. In that case, I think we can end the session today. Thanks both for joining in. Stay tuned for our Wednesday note next week. We'll bring in another topic that is prevalent here in the US in 2024. Thanks all for listening and watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.